Thank you so much for being here. And my topic is very serious, but I will try to make it as fun it is. And we will talk about unemployment and what we can do as an American to solve this problem. And the famous writing I was reading in the Bloomberg magazine was, it's a recession if your neighbor loses a job, but it's a depression if you lose a job. But let me take you back in time. Born in Pakistan, I always have this question: what is it alive in America? What is an American dream? What Americans eat at dinner? What kind of sports they play? So all these questions I always have in my mind. Is it like Friends, where they all just laugh, not worry about paying bills? Or is it like Entourage, where we have 5 friends and all they do is drive fancy cars and party all day? But when I came here, I realized that real America is what they show in Full House. A family, they have struggles, they have kids, and they're just trying to live a normal life, just like we live in every other country in this world. And this is the real face of America, which are not shown in our media. A baker, a plumber, an accountant, a hairdresser, and they all need is a job to sustain a life in America, to pay their house bills, to pay their water bills, to pay their telephone bills, to pay their internet bills. I can keep on going, all the bills. I was hoping that the PhD students in Stanford, Harvard will have a solution to this problem, which is called unemployment. But when I look at this graph, from 1950s and all the way to depression to 2010, it's a sine wave. Every 10 years, 13 years, there's a depression or recession, and millions of Americans lose job. Fortunately, I was never laid off, but my story is for them. And what American government do? Pay them Social Security benefits or insurance benefits when they are laid off. And if you look at this graph, Hawaii is paying $400 per week, and this is not enough if you have 3 kids and you have all the bills. 5 weeks unemployed, 2.77 million. And in the next graph, I will show you, Michigan was not even ready to pay more than 10 days of this insurance money. The white color is showing the states which can pay for only 12 months. And now we are in the 3rd year of recession. And our government is spending more money, taking more loans from China, and we are going in more debt. We can do better than that. This looks all so familiar. One way is, let's all get into graduate school, get PhDs, get medical degrees, and solve this problem. But this is not a realistic possibility. We have 12 million unemployed people in the streets, and they all cannot afford to go back to school and live a life, because 2% is for doctoral degrees, unemployment. All these buzzwords, I always used to ask my professors, my friends in America, what we can do. They say, okay, you should network better and ask for your friends to give you a job. One way, start a small business. Different words came in my mind. Then I watched this movie, Pursuit of Happiness. If William Gardner can achieve his pursuit and achieve that $20 million company, why can't I or all these 12 million people? And what he chose was entrepreneurship. And the way I define entrepreneurship is that it doesn't have to be an innovative idea, because we always use the word entrepreneurship with nanotechnology, high-tech, $500 million opportunity. But I want to bring this entrepreneurship to a plumber, to a mason, to a painter, to a hairdresser, that they can also have an idea and they can also start a company. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an innovative idea. It could be an improvement of a process. He was not a PhD graduate. He was not a medical doctor. He is not a PhD in economics, but they all started a company, and the rest is history. In my high school, I took a course in biology because I was always inspired with the medical field. If a human can have an immune system, why not a US economy have a similar system, so that we just don't cure the problem when it occurs, we should prevent from the future recessions to hit us again. So question is, who will create these 14 million jobs? Is it these Fortune 500 companies who promise you that they will again create jobs? IBM will give you jobs? But they are all care for profits, and which is fair. This is how the capitalist economy works. Or is it the government who will create 14 million jobs? There's a limit how many people can sit in White House and work. So I came up with this immune system economy, and the fundamental pillar is entrepreneurship. The way it will work is based on 5 parts. How private business and government can help us. What can we do and improve our education system? Because so far, the education is only limited to business majors or who are enrolled in MBA classes. I want it to be spread across to those guys who are not even beyond, who never went beyond high school. Access to finance, government can improve their policies, and the last part is how we can change their social and cultural attitude. First thing is the companies who are in this region, they can mentor us. They can take those unemployed and ask them, spend one day with me and learn how we inspire and motivate people and start those companies. It's a moral responsibility for all the companies to take this because they all are Americans. The reason for outsourcing, because their company are laying off and shipping jobs to China and India, is because it's cost effective. But only 36% is the reason for cost effectiveness. We have to stop this outsourcing because we have 14 million people in this country who are sitting in their house waiting for a job, how cheap they could be compared to someone in India and China. So we have a resource. It's not that they were lazy. It's just that someone in Wall Street made a wrong bet, or because they were looking for profits, or globalization made them lose their job. One idea is we can start one-stop centers for these bakers, hairdressers, plumbers, electricians, just like we have for the engineers in Stanford University, the way in Greenville or in Boston, Massachusetts. Why can't we have similar centers for them? We have one-stop center. We offer them accounting and all those services. Create business incubators for them also. Classrooms. After 3 p.m., schools are closed. Why not share these spaces with them? Give them internet access, give them books, give them all the resources. Share your equipment. If someone is a software programmer, if a company can share that software, he will learn something out of it. And in the future, if IBM has to give a job to India, they will come to these centers and ask them if they can do a job on part-time. They don't have to pay insurance. They don't have to worry about the cost. Second problem we face is, and the famous quote by Mr. Henry Ford, a country competitiveness starts not on the factory floor or in the engineering lab. It starts in the classroom. So we have to revise our way we teach curriculum of entrepreneurship. First of all, the teachers who are teaching entrepreneurship never started a company in their past. So we can involve more of those small business owners to come in the classroom and share the personal stories. And please don't limit this knowledge only for MBA, because this is something we have to spread outside the majors. And the way I look at it is this is a map of South Carolina, and the red dots are those centers, schools, universities, where we can create the one-stop center, and green are the areas which are the educational institutes, and how we can create a network that in Greenville and in Charleston and in Columbia, they all can resources. So if one person is a baker, he knows how to bake in 3 different ways, but someone in Charleston knows 4 different ways. We can link them, and he can offer a training so that the guy in Greenville can learn 7 different ways of making a same cake. So same with the hairdresser. If she knows how to cut in 2 ways, we can improve and enhance their skills. And also in these centers, we can ask someone from New York to give an online class to how to improve something. So let's create a profile of these employees. Next thing is the access to finance. We are not short on passion, but we need cash. Credit card bills, debit card bills, all these bills, and I'm tied to this. Second part, when I apply for a loan, they all look at credit score, and my scores are always down because I was late on my payments, and this is how the banks look at us. Personal savings are down. What should I do then? We have to revise the strict scoring method for these entrepreneurs. There has to be a parallel system. So if I'm applying for a loan, they have to look at other things because I'm creating job also for 5 other, or 6 other, or 10 other people. We have to revise our micro-lending process too. And we have to simplify the complex documentation procedure and reduce the time it needs for an application to be accepted if I apply for a loan. Government has to revise. One person was like, why I need one whole month to register for my company when it takes a few days in other countries, like Luxembourg, Finland. For 2 months, I've been waiting a tax certification regarding all applications paid. So you have to improve this process. This is America. Revise our tax system here, the way we have to fill so many forms, countless of the forms. Improve our bankruptcy law. What if my company died? Because 80% of the companies don't succeed. So what are the bankruptcy laws? Does it affect me? Can I take more risk? And the most important last part is we have to change the social and cultural attitude towards this problem. One person was saying, people think it's a joke when I share in the classroom that I am starting a company when I graduate. They laugh at me. They think that I was not a good student in the class or I cannot get a normal, regular job. But that's not the truth. So that's why we have to change this mindset. And this will start from our home. Parents should teach and take this equal responsibility and teach their kids what does it mean to take risk in life, how to assess risk, and how to cover the risk in life. So it starts at a very early age. We need government to also start these kind of summits. Last month, President Obama started this new summit for entrepreneurs. So it's halftime in America, as famously Clint Eastwood said in his Super Bowl ad. Because if we have to create the future, we have to take things in our hand. If not, then someone else will write the history for us. We are Americans, and I think we can do better than this. Thank you so much.